Welcome back, everybody. Aesop Grim here, and this is the continuation of my preparation. I hesitate to call it a guide, but it's my process of preparing my character for the Elden Ring DLC dropping this Friday on the 21st, Shadow of the Erdtree. And I'm just going through a process here. You can see that I've knocked out create a save file. That's in the intro video. Then I did the Frenzied Flame Seal and the Memory Stone locations. I did not go through Crystal Tears because it turned out I only needed one, so you'll have to find that elsewhere. I would suggest Vextra Life. I did all the mausoleums, the 7 mausoleums, and I chose my 7 bosses to duplicate remembrances from. And then I intended to mark all of my grace sites because that's kind of like a best practice for whenever you're getting ready to start a new game plus. But there's only 100 markers, and I ran out of markers and decided I didn't want to do that because I want to save all that stuff for use during the DLC. So today we're going to cover dragon incantations, spells, and merchants. And I'll tell you, I recorded this video already, but I evidently had a mic failure option or event happen. My mic didn't work, so I didn't pick up my voice audio in that recording. So what we're going to do is we're going to lock this image out, and we're going to bring up the video that I recorded, and I'm just going to narrate over this and explain to you what it is that I'm doing. And right here, I'm explaining that we're going to start with the Twin Tusks Merchant. And we're going to go check them. I actually had a bell bearing to turn in, but I did that off screen. But you want to make sure you turn all your bell bearings in. You want to get all the bell bearings, and you want to turn them into her. Or them. So right there, I'm testing it, and it says I'm good to go. So now I'm going to go through, I'm going to buy those rune arcs. These are examples of what the kind of stuff that I'm looking to buy from merchants. I don't really care about those two things, but these equipment items, this is starter gear for the various classes and their unique items. I want to make sure that I have those in my inventory, just to know that my inventory is as close to complete as possible. So I buy all 4 of those. Then I come over here to the weapons. I don't really care about the arrows, but the weapons, I buy each one of these weapons. And towards the end, I'm going to show you what I do, what I mean whenever I say sort your chest. There's an incantation. So I was happy that I checked her. I wasn't sure. I couldn't remember if she sold incantations and sorceries or not. She did not have any sorceries. Looks like I already bought the memory stones. And this right here is going to be in a different video with the smithing stones and the ghost glove warts. So we are done with the Twin Tusks Merchant. There we go. So next up, we're going to go check the 2 locations that sell the dragon incantations. And the first location is off the coast of Limgrave. The Church of Dragon Communion. Almost said Dragon Communism. That's what the word looked like. Because this is playing in OBS, so the screen is shrunk down a little bit. And right here at this altar with the red fire is where you can purchase dragon incantations at this site. I've already purchased all 3 that are available, so we're good to go here. So now we're off to the second site, and the second site can be found in Caelid, and it's called I think it's called the Dragon Cathedral. Cathedral of Dragon Communion. Now I can hear a knight pathing around outside. It kind of spooks me a little bit, so I'm checking to see if I got anybody coming up on me. And then I'm looking to see where I actually make the purchase from, and I walk up to several of these dragon statues. And then finally, I round the corner here. And there's the altar. And there are two I can buy here. Theodrix's Magma. And I got spooked here because there's like a squishy sound when you turn in the dragon heart. And then Borealis' Mist. And so, and that was all that I needed. And so because I'm kind of spooked, I kind of want to hunt this guy down. So I actually go out here and look around for him. I wasn't really sure if I heard a guy or not until later, and I kind of replayed it in my mind and realized, no, I did. That was Knight's armor that I could hear. So he's definitely out here somewhere. So I patrol around here to the back. And there he is. And this guy drops a shield for me. Banished Knight's Shield. So right now what I'm explaining is that I'm going to go to all of the merchants in the game. Oh no, my bad. I'm sorry. I'm going to the Church of Vows. I have a prayer book to turn in. And I want to check and see if this guy has any sorceries or incantations for me to buy from. Whenever I was following Fighting Cowboy's walkthrough guide, he suggested turning all your prayer books in right here to this guy so that you have everything centrally located. And I did that except for one example where I accidentally turned it in at the Twin Husks, and that's why I had an incantation that I could buy from them. If I'd done it right, everything would have been right here.
Greetings.
So I'm going to give this guy the prayer book I have on me. I think it's the Dragon Codex. Yeah, the Ancient Dragon Prayer Book.
What have we here? Very well, let us. Heresy is not all things.
And then I'm going to check what he has for sale. Looks like I've got all of the sorceries. Here's the incantations. I've got 2 incantations I can buy, the Lightning Spear and the Lightning Strike. Ancient Dragon versions. Okay, so we're good to go on that. So now comes the merchants. So if you bring your search engine up of choice and you type in Fextra Life, Elden Ring, merchant locations, it'll take you to a wiki page of his where he has locations for every single one of these merchants, and he has them categorized according to what they sell. So for example, the first category is general goods, and he has a picture of them. Underneath that, he has their name, and underneath that, he has a short description of where they can be found. Okay, so this is the first merchant location, Merchant Kale, found at the Church of Ella in Lemgrave. We'll fast travel there. And the reason I show these 3 examples is to give you examples of the kinds of things that I buy. You don't buy everything a merchant has to offer. I wouldn't. So I'm backing out and I'm explaining to you right now that you do have the option to kill these guys. And if you do, their shop will move over to the Twin Maiden Husks. Now, to me, that's very appealing because it co-locates everything into one point of contact. But remember, whenever Kale said his people are deeply unforgiving, I don't want to get sideways with the nomadic folk here. I don't remember what they're actually called. Especially with this DLC coming up, where we don't know if they may have an expanded role or not. So I'm not going to kill them, but I am letting you know that you have that option. And the result will be that their shop moves to the Twin Maiden Husks.
What is it?
So we'll purchase. I'm going to buy that telescope just in case I don't have one. I'm going to get the 3 cracked pots. And I'm going to buy the armor set. I don't need the cookbooks. Obviously, I've already bought them. I don't want the arrows. I don't want the daggers. I've already got the torch. And I don't need the notes for where the flasks are at. But I want that equipment. Again, I'll probably never wear it. I've looked at that set. It's dog ugly. I don't want to wear it. But I want to complete my inventory as much as possible. So the next one on Fextra Life's list here is the Isolated Merchant. And it says located at the Isolated Merchant's shack at the very west of the Weeping Peninsula General Store. And again, we're going to do 3 examples. So this is example number 2.
Back already. Unusual to this age.
I would have bought the lantern if I did not have one and he had one on hand, but since I do and he doesn't, not applicable. I would have bought those smithing stones. I would have bought that stone sword key. I forget what the lost ash of war or something. I would have bought that. You see that I buy the sword and I buy the branches, but I skip on the arrows. And I skip on the arteria leaf material and the consumable bloody fingers, right? That stuff I'm not interested in.
Safe journey.
So the 3rd place is the Nomadic Merchant West Limgrave. This Nomadic Merchant can be found in Limgrave, southeast from the Coastal Cave entrance. And I just need to put my lantern on and run out of this cave, and he'll be to the southeast. And here we are. I'll grab the butterflies and then talk to him. And I'll buy those 3 smithing stones. I would buy the cookbook page if it was there, but I've already got it. I get the sword and the club and the bow and the shield. We're going to travel to a grace site now so that I can access my chest. So if we select a sort chest item and we move through the tabs, all of these tools, I keep all of those. But then we get into the armaments. And this is the first place that I'm talking about whenever I say sort your chest out, clean your chest up. What I do is everything that I don't have equipped, I move over to my chest. So all this stuff that I just bought, it gets moved over. Now, I've already done this off screen, but the stuff I just bought might be duplicates. So now what I do is I move over to the chest, and what I'm looking to have is no more than 2 of every kind of weapon. In a lot of cases, I'll only have 1. And the way I do this in order to do it very quickly is I just look at the top right there where the name is written, and we can end up flying through this stuff because the name changes. And when it doesn't change, I just simply make sure I only have 2. Anything over 2, I'm going to bring back to my inventory and I'm going to sell it. So this Wakizashi, for example, is a unique weapon. You can only get 1 per playthrough, and I've not done a new game playthrough yet, so I just have the 1. Right, these are all unique. Blade of Calling, Black Knife. You can see I've got 2 short swords, so I'm just kind of checking through, and here eventually you're going to see me speed it up. And that's what I explained, is what I just told you. By just watching the name, I can tell whenever I have duplicates. And then I just make sure that I have no more than a second duplicate. So now I'm really starting to fly through it. Okay, see there I have 3 scimitars. So I'm going to pull one of those over into my inventory to sell. And you do the same for bows. See, I'm putting all the stuff that I just bought over into the chest, And then I'm double checking the chest and making sure I just have, in this case, when it comes to the bows, just one. So I've got 2 of these longbows, I think. I'm gonna put one of them back into my inventory to sell. But I would double up on the staves, and I would double up on the seals if I had 2 seals for making caster builds. I keep all of my arrows, and then over here I have all these different shields. Oh, it looks like I did not have the Banished Knight's shield. I keep that Thorn shield, I forget what it's called. I keep that in my inventory. But I'm making sure that I have just unique items for the shields, no doubles. That was a really good drop for me then, getting that Banished Knight shield. Because it's cool looking. It's one of the cooler looking medium shields. But you can get multiples of these, like the brass shield. I sold 3 or 4 of those off. And then same thing for each of the equipment slot categories. So your helm, your chest, your arms, and your legs. Just make sure you have one example of each item, and you'll have an organized, cleaned up chest for whenever you go into the DLC, because there's going to be a lot of stuff, man. This is like the biggest DLC for any game ever released, I think. And we got different weapon classes and stuff, so there's going to be a lot of stuff we're going to be adding to our chest. So that I definitely recommend going through and paring your chest down as much as possible, just keeping 2 of the weapon types when it comes to your armaments. 2 seals, 2 staves, no more than that. That'll wrap it up. Again, I'm Aesop Grimm. Thank you for coming by the channel. I hope you like what you saw. More importantly, I hope all is well in your neck of the woods. And I'll see you in the next episode where this story continues.